Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Collector's Corner. I'm Mrs. Arcadian, and we're here with Steve the Collector. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
What's on
Mrs.
the,
A.
what's on the
I am
show
glad
today?
I'm glad to be back, and we got everything Peter Tork, collector show number eight. Collector show number eight. So I wish I had more Peter Tork stuff to show you, but I do have a few things. And Peter didn't put out a lot of stuff, but some stuff that I lost, which I'm kind of upset about. But I do have some stuff. But so whenever you're ready, we'll get to it.
Here we go.
All right, this is Peter Tork. The stuff never gets old. This is from 7A Records. There's only 800 copies in the pale blue vinyl. So I got mine when it was pretty new. So it was less than 800. And this is all unreleased material. This was released on November 18th, 2022. And the songs came off of the Miracle Soundboard recordings made at the Speakeasy in New York City in 1988. Peter was going to release a full album, but never did. And these were the only songs that were found. So this is another Peter Tork treasure. You can still find copies of this. That's the back of it. Yeah. Now here's original Monkey script. This is
Ooh.
season one, episode 10. Here comes the monkeys, and it was signed by Peter. There's a COA, the certificate of authenticity, and I think I opened it up so you guys can just see how it was in the script and how it was written. Now this is something real special. This is a set list from Shoe Suede Blues Band, 2001 in Schenectady, New York. It was April 20th. I was there. I went there with a friend of mine. I found out about the show and we just got in the car and went and bought tickets there. I walked upstairs. I walked upstairs, but the thing of it was such a small venue. I was literally sitting right in front of Peter.
Wow.
And I was totally blown away. My eyes were like that big. I was just watching them, and it was such a good time. And they stopped playing, and Peter and his whole band went into a back room. And I grabbed the set list and I followed them. Took the set list off the stage and I followed them back there. And Peter Tork signature's in there, and the rest of the band's signature, and that is the original only set list that they had on the stage. That was in
Wow.
front of me. And here's was the that was the name of the show he played at. The Van Dyke, is it? Or that was the show.
Wow, and that's coming up.
Yeah. It was a
The anniversary of
2001.
that one.
Yeah, it is coming up. Yeah. And here's a card I had Peter sign for me that night. Because I found out about the show. I just grabbed one of my monkeys cards that had Peter on it. And I brought it to him. So when I went in the back room and I started talking with Peter, it was crazy. I was just like, I didn't really know what to say to him. So, what do you say to one of your idols? So we just started talking about all kinds of things. I told him I was a guitar player and he was interested, and we talked and talked. And I whipped this card out, and the guitar player goes, "What's this?" And he's like, "This is something from my past." And he signed it for me. And we got talking about because 2001, this was before the 2001 summer tour with the Monkees.
Oh.
And yeah. So I go, you're going to go out with the guys this summer, right? And he kind of just rolled his eyes in the back of his head. He was like, yeah. I, I was I was totally surprised to see that kind of reaction. And I know why. But it took me a long time to figure out why he had that reaction. Because the band, the band Shoe Suede Blues, they had a whole bunch of dates that were conflicting with the monkeys' dates. And there was kind of bickering going back and forth because Peter wanted to play the monkey shows and he wanted to do his, you know, shoe suede blue shows too. So
Oh,
it led to Davey and Mickey just ending up doing the 2001 tour at the end by themselves, and Peter left to finish out the shows with Shoe Suede Blues. You know, so and when I talked to him for quite a long time. I don't really remember all the things we talked about. I talked to the guitar player and the drummer, and I stayed back there with them for at least 30, 40 minutes, you know.
oh,
And I could tell Peter was tired. He was really tired, you know. And he was just such a kind guy, and we just talked, and he signed all that stuff for me, and I was totally, totally, totally happy. Totally happy. Now here's something else I had him sign for me too. The Live. This is a very rare CD. I never see this CD come up for sale. I'm not saying that it's not out there, but I've never seen it come up for sale.
yeah.
Now, this is an article out of a magazine from 19, I'd say 76, 77, when Peter Tork was teaching in California.
Oh, that's cool. I remember he did that.
And sometimes he'd go play with Mickey and Davy. He'd go back and he would play with Mickey and Davy because by 1976 and 1977, they were done with the Boyce and Hart, Dolenz, and Jones thing.
Yeah.
And and Mickey and Davy were playing. They were doing shows from 76 to 77. They were playing like Disneyland. They were doing shows everywhere. And I do have some bootleg recordings of Davy and Mickey with Peter sitting in on banjo from
Oh, that's
1977.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. And last but not least, these were taken right off the wall at Tower Records in Boston. It was a 1996 appearance.
Oh, that's
These were
cool.
taken right off the wall. Yeah. So I was lucky to find these and get them. But I'm always on the lookout for Peter Tork stuff. Like I said, some of the stuff's hard to find because there wasn't a lot of stuff to begin with. I did have like two or three more CDs, um, which they disappeared off the face of the earth. I have no idea where they went. And someday
Oh,
I'll rebuy them again. And when I do, I'll show everybody. Next week we won't be here, but the following week we're going to do the movie Head. I have a
yep.
lot of stuff from Head. I got stuff from Japan. I got stuff from America. I got promos. I got pictures. I got all kinds of things, press books, all kinds of things. So that's going to be a big show, definitely.
Yep. Can't wait for head in two
Yeah.
weeks.
So thanks for having me on, and I hope everybody enjoyed everything. Peter Tork, Collector Show number 8.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank